Hey!
Usually living in Australia doesn't really come with that many advantages besides the fact that, you know, sometimes we get Lego sets early, and I don't just mean because of the international dateline, you know, because unlike America, our school starts at the beginning of the year and not sort of halfway through. And that means one of two things. Firstly, all of the summer releases for us are technically in winter, but also we actually get them 2 months earlier in June. And one of them this year is actually the brand new I Am Groot Lego set from Lego Marvel. So this bad boy was released under the Infinity Saga branding, and in Australia and Europe actually released on June 1st, whereas America, you won't find these in your Lego stores or local stores until August 1st. However, if you're impatient, there's a link to order them from Zavvi in the description down below, because they actually ship from Europe. So technically you can actually get this now. It's the same price. It's an affiliate link. Check it out. Now this is a set I had no intentions of purchasing. I just sort of looked at it, and shockingly it came out on June 1st. This was actually supposed to be delayed for us too. And I was like, you know what? This could be a pretty fun build to do on a build stream. And now I kind of want to keep him. So this is set 76217 and retails for $55 US and 90 Australian. It's a little much. I mean, Lego's price increases are sort of happening everywhere, so I feel like everything is going to be a bit much from now on. But I mean, he is really cute. I hate to admit it. Now Groot also comes along with some accessories and a little display park, which is pretty cool, and quite frankly the accessories are also really cool and a nice accessory for me too. But anyway, here is Groot. Wait, that's the wrong one. Here is Groot, and for the most part, I mean, essentially, I guess he would be life-size, even though, you know, he's not real, he's made out of plastic bricks, but he is an absolutely adorable little companion. Now, I honestly think that box art and the product images online do not do this guy justice. He is so much cuter in real life and honestly does have a lot of posability. However, he is very top heavy. His head is incredibly fat, so it does sort of like flop around a little too much, and like his little feet and legs, sometimes I feel like it can't quite support him. Now, another important question is this a Marvel mech? To me, Groot's not really a mech, it's more of like a life-size, I guess, like scale model, just like Thor's hammer. More of a buildable character and a buildable creature, which yes, if you were wondering if this sort of follows the theme of 2022's buildable creatures, you are absolutely correct. Now Groot as a build, I mean, fundamentally it's very basic. He's got a lot of joints, he's got some mixel joints in his shoulders, his elbows and his wrists, allowing for a lot of displayability and posability in his arms. In fact, he can even stick his middle finger up at you if you really wanted him to, which I kind of found pretty funny. His torso can also swivel, you can twist his hips around and make him look like he's dancing. His head can move around, but like I said, it is quite top heavy, so you sort of have to be a bit delicate. However, you can pose it so that he can dab, so that's a big win. His hip joints as well do have a lot of range around them, not too much like left to right range, more so just like front and back. Unfortunately as well, because it is using a bunch of Technic pieces that haven't been recolored, you've got some nice grey joints sticking out, as well as I guess just some black pieces here. Also the grey mixel joints on the arm, not my favorite thing ever, but there's a lot of range, so I do sort of pass it up. One thing that I do wish was a bit different with him though is that his feet were mirrored rather than being the exact same thing duplicated. It also means you can't really like move his legs to have him sit down at the same length, because one sits way further back than the other. As you can see again with just like the head, it's just it's a bit floppy. I mean, he's really good at head banging, so I guess that's a play feature. He also was incredibly detailed, having a lot of vines and flower pieces and just overall, I guess, botanical pieces. You've also got a range of stickers on the back. Majority of them are really easy to just apply and really add a lot of necessary detail. So I personally don't want to complain about them too much. I find them fine. It is a bit of a shame though that his head and like mouth is completely, I guess, just like all structured on, like there's no posability or just like alterations that you can do in terms of his smile, which means he's always sort of giving you like this really strange, like creepy doll vibe look. So it's a bit weird. Now if you wanted to add some like extra plants or things like that, or just stick something on top of his head, there are actually a couple of studs up there, so you could add some things and just really overall decorate it a little bit. I mean, a lot of people have included him in a bunch of like botanical sets. I mean, technically, I guess this is another botanical collection Lego set, but more so I think he works really well with just like generic houseplants. In fact, he can blend in pretty well, so if you don't want your family to know you bought another Lego set, I don't think they're probably going to see him this time around, so that's really good. Speaking of the botanicals though, they do actually work really well as like a hat for him. You can sort of accessorize using a range of the different flowers available, including the sunflowers, the roses, the botanical bouquet. I feel like the succulents as well and the orchids would look pretty cool. In fact, you could even just build it out of his head if you really wanted to, and really, I guess, just like cement that this is in fact a tree that we've built here. But the best thing about Groot, in my opinion, is he's one of those builds that I guess you can just pose and put into all sorts of random situations. I've found that this specific Lego set loves to climb ladders, has also started a new career, and is just really adventurous in general, but doesn't really get along with other types of creatures that can actually move and probably attack him. So do keep that in mind if you do get him. He does require a lot of parental supervision. He's also really into T-posing and trying to destroy his former friends, so yeah. But besides that, I wouldn't really call them personality flaws. This guy's incredibly cute and has really surprised me. I was fully expecting to just build this set, be like, oh yeah, he's kind of cool, has some good posability, and just ready to get rid of him. But the more I sort of play around with him and pose him, the more I genuinely love him. Even the accessories are absolutely awesome. I love the awesome mixtape build. I think it's hilarious. You can even switch around the little brick to change, I guess, the soundtrack that you want it to appear from the movie, which was really cool. It also comes with a little like display plaque, which honestly, not a huge fan of the build. That is the weakest part of the set. I just feel like it was very lackluster and just could have been built up a little bit more to make it seem just, I feel like, a bit more complete and a bit more like it is intended to be in this set. However, the graphic design on it is hilarious, and I love that we continued that all the way down in here. This guy's a little rebel. I feel like he's gonna look fantastic on a desk or in display. Like, this is something that I could gladly put in my family's living room, and I'm pretty sure most of my family members would absolutely enjoy it. In fact, my mum has told me explicitly that I'm not allowed to give him away or sell him, so I'm stuck with him now. But overall, the build was really interesting and the design is absolutely incredible. The build did go very quick though, since like one bag is for his torso, one bag's for his sort of like legs and arms, and then the third one is his head, and that really took up the most time of this build. He's definitely a little pricey, but then again, Lego is all seeming to be going up these days, so I feel like in comparison to, I guess, the newest set prices, this guy's honestly not too bad. I'm really impressed with him, and this is definitely, I think, one of, if not the best Marvel set that we have seen, and probably will see this year. Groot is just absolutely adorable, and as long as you can balance his legs, you can really do quite a lot, especially with the arms. Like, there is a lot of freedom there and a lot of posability, and I didn't want to say this, but I really highly recommend this set. This guy is adorable. Also, if you want to get this and sort of play around with it and move him around, from my experience sort of posing him and playing around with him, he is incredibly stable for the most part. I haven't really had any issues, so I feel like, I guess, as a play toy as well, like, this would be a really cool thing, as well as a fantastic display piece. The only thing that I wish this set had is if they brought back the little Baby Groot mold so that you could attach it to the plaque, sort of like you do with like the Star Wars buildable droids and things like that, or even just to have like Rocket Raccoon, I guess, accompany him. It would have been fantastic. Literally, if it just came with like Rocket or even Groot or Rocket and Groot or one of the other, like, that's all you needed to complete this set. I feel like this would have made it feel, I feel like, just 10 times better, but nevertheless, Groot is fantastic. So those are all of my thoughts on the Groot set. Again, if you're in the US, you don't have to wait. You can order them now online and they will ship from overseas. Otherwise, you'll be able to find this in stores on August 1st, and everywhere else it should be available now. He's perfect for any Guardians of the Galaxy fan, any Marvel fan, and even, I guess, just like people who are fans of houseplants. I feel like he would blend in like really well. Like, you know how everyone just like bought people the botanical flowers and they loved them even if they didn't care about Lego? I feel like you could do the same for people who love houseplants and Marvel with this set. It's fantastic. But those are all of my thoughts on Lego Groot. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel down below, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Now, repeat back what I just said.
I am Groot.
Uh-huh.
I am Groot.
That's right.
I am Groot.
No! I am Groot.
I am Groot.
He did call you Twig.